What's good, fam? Welcome to my weekly Tuesday talk with the parents. This is going to be an uncomfortable conversation in some areas that we got to have today because there's some things I need you to understand that's going to help you in the long run to be the best parent that you can be for your kids or to be an even better parent this year. And we're going to get right into it. I'm not going to delay. And while we at it, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, to help me get this message out to as many parents that needs this, because we got to be better as parents, man. A lot of people look at why, the younger generation now is lacking and struggling and not doing what they need to do. And as parents, or if you're a parent figure, whatever the case is, it starts with us. So I'm going to get right into it. I need you to understand the first thing that you have to do is start with you. A lot of parents, you don't understand that what you are, who you are, your software, that is going to directly affect your kids, literally. So with your software, understand that if you have limiting beliefs, that's going to bleed off into your kids. Your kids are going to likely adopt limiting beliefs based off of just mirroring what energy and your tendencies. If you struggle with diet, nutrition, and health, and being in good shape or having healthy habits, your kids are likely going to adopt those same things as well. If you struggle with having, good relationships and you have toxic traits and don't process pain or trauma or emotional pain or whatever the case is, and you blow up, you get triggered, the list goes on and on and on. If any of that sounds like you, your kids are likely gonna mirror and reflect and adopt those same things. So, and those are just a few things to name. The list goes on and on. If you bad with money, there's a lot of people that have bad money, bad spending habits. They have a bad relationship with money and accumulating wealth, saving, and investing. If you don't have financial literacy, your kids are also going to suffer from that as well. So understand all of that to say that it starts with you. That's why I said it's a lot of parents that are under the impression, man, being a good parent is telling your kids that you love them, making sure that they have food, clothes, a roof over their head, you send them to school and make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do in the classroom. And all of those things are needed and are good. But that's just where it begins when it comes to becoming a great parent. And I'm sure all of you want to become an absolute great and be the absolute best parent that you can be for your kids. Understand that you got to be the best version of you in order to be the best parent that you can be. So if you got holes and things that you need to clean up, things with your own personal self that you need to address, you got to take the time to do it. Because if you don't understand, what you do doesn't just affect you. It affects everybody connected to you. And that includes your kids. And understand that this is how generational curses or generational trauma and, generational poverty passes on from generation to generation. Because you got so many people, they aren't even aware that as parents, what you do are going to affect your kids. And it's not going to be easy. I need you to understand that now. It's going to be work, because you as a parent now, if there's things that you got to clean up and work on with yourself, you aren't just working on you. You cleaning up things that your parents may have dealt with and things that they had going on that they weren't able to clean up, and they just passed that on to you. So understand it's heavyweight, because healing, learning how to change your tendencies, your habits, who you are as a person, developing health and a good lifestyle, healthy habits, all of those things, it's work when you didn't grow up with that. or you didn't grow up learning those things, and you got to undo things. And I know it's a lot of people that are looking like, man, this isn't fair. That ain't fair. I got to clean up and fix things that wasn't even my fault, that I didn't even do, that you just inherited. And I'm sorry that's what it is, but understand, it ain't about what happens to you. It's about what you do with what happens to you. And at the end of the day, yeah, it may be tough, but you got kids and other people that need you to be the best version of you. So do the work and understand that you can do the work. And whatever work you got to do, whatever you need to accomplish, it's already out there. The resources and everything that you need is already there for you. You just got to make the decision that you're going to heal, you're going to do the work, you're going to go study and find the resources and the information and then apply it to your life that you need to make you a better you. And that's going to make your kids' life better and your grandkids' life better. And it's just going to become a new generational cycle, but in a good way. So understand, that's one of the most important things that you're going to have to do in order to become a great parent for your kids. How do you do that? Start by healing. Whatever traumas, whether you dealt with childhood trauma, if you had self-esteem issues, you had confidence issues, self-worth, toxic relationships within your family, or even romantic relationships, and that's affected you, you got to sit down and take time to process what you experienced and to build healthy habits so that your kids can also mirror your example, and they'll have healthy habits and to have better self-esteem, and they'll learn how to build self-esteem and to have good high self-worth and all the things that they would need to be for them to be the best person that they can be. And at some point, they'll grow up and they'll be adults and they can pass that on to their kids. Financial literacy. There's so many resources out here where you can change your relationship with money. You don't have to live in poverty. If you grew up in poverty, that doesn't mean you have to stay there. And you don't need your kids to grow up thinking that this is what life is. Just struggling to get by, living paycheck to paycheck. That's not what life is. There is an abundance of money out here. There is literally no shortage. Let me tell you something. It's $43 trillion circulating in the world. That's how much money is actually out in the world. There's 8 billion people. I promise you that if you understood how money operates and that there's no limit to money out there, it's all about the value that you put out into the world. If you do that, you will understand that more money and more financial abundance will come into your life. And that's an important thing that you need to be able to instill in your kids. That is vital. So you got to do the work and living a healthy diet, man. I just had a conversation with my little brother, and I did this because I know that my pops and his mom, didn't take the time to teach them those things, because I didn't learn those things as well. Neither one of my parents or nobody I grew up with taught me, and I grew up in the South, in the deep South. Listen, we grew up on Sunday dinners where you got fried chicken, fried pork chop, fried fish, red rice, macaroni and cheese with whatever vegetable that we had. We had our pound cake or our sweet potato, whatever desserts, you name it, we had it. With the Kool-Aid or the sweet tea or the lemonade, whatever the sugary drinks, and would have leftovers. And we just grew up having a diet enriched in starches and carbs and sugar. And me personally, diabetes runs rampant in my family. And it's no knock or whatever at all. And I say this from compassion because all of us, we just did what we know. We learned from what our parents did. Our parents learned from what their parents did, and we never learned about how to eat a clean diet, a healthy diet of fruits, vegetables, and clean meats, where you don't have an over excess of carbs and things that you don't need to eat. We never learned that. We never learned that certain diets, if you eat certain things and eat a lot of it, and you don't exercise, because exercise is another thing that isn't promoted the way it should be nowadays. These are things you gotta take time to instill in your kids. But you gotta do these things first, because if you don't have the awareness yourself, then you can't instill those into your kids. And it's so important, man. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And at some point, for your family to have, your kids to have more money, have better financial success in life, for them to have better relationships, for them to have better emotional intelligence and self-worth and self-esteem, for them to have better relationships and have a stronger mentality towards success and what life is all about, it has to be disruption. Somebody has to stop the buck and be like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm going to change this, and I'm going to change the culture for my kids and my family. That's on you. So I say all of that to say, it's all going to come down to what you do, whether when it comes down to being the best parent for your kids and setting your kids up for success. You set the environment. Your kids, those are your seeds. And they all have the potential to be whatever it is they're supposed to be. If you think about this analogy, if you got an apple seed already has the DNA to grow into a massive tree that produces fruit a few times a year, that people can eat off of, and that provides life and value to people or whatever partakes. Your kids are already a seed that is the potential to grow into whatever they're going to grow in, and to be whatever in this world that this world needs from them. But what determines whether that seed germinates and grows into that apple tree that produces fruit, same thing with your kids, it all depends on the conditioning, the conditions. For that seed to grow into an apple tree, the conditions have to be right in order for that to happen. It's no different than your kids. And you're the person that dictates and sets the environment for what and how much your kids are going to grow and develop, and how they're going to develop and who they're going to become. So it's your responsibility at first, and it's on you. I need you to understand that. If you don't hear another word from me, or you don't get anything else from this video, that it starts with you. So please, 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 for you, your kids, and your lineage, be the best version of yourself, become the best version of yourself, and instill those things into your kids so that you can build a strong family tree and a strong family culture. And I promise you, your kids, your grandkids, and whoever else down the line will thank you, whether they tell you or not. But they'll be in gratitude that somebody set a culture that they can benefit from. So understand that, man. That's what it's all about. All of you all have the potential to be great parents, and that's what I expect from you, because your kids need you, and you're more than capable of being everything that they need you to be, and then some. So that's all I got, man. If this video brought any value to you, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this to anybody that may be a parent that could use this information. And what I want you to know and remind you is that anything that you want to be, the parent that you want to be for your kids, you got this, man. Just take the time and become the best you, and then just give that to your kids, and understand that at the end of the day, you'll be exactly where you need to be, and so will they. So I love y'all from the bottom of my heart, man. And understand that what you do and where you go in life, and what parent that you end up being, that's 100% on you. And until next time, Peace and love.